think I did that with no major outtakes. I'm getting better at this. Hey, it's LJ, and welcome to another edition of LJ Reacts. For those of you who've only just come across my little YouTube channel here, what I do is I'm going back through time to try and catch up with some of the pop culture events that seem to have eluded me as I've sort of hit my 20s and my 30s. So yeah, usually it's songs. I do a couple of film trailers. I've got a couple of other things in the pipeline. Hopefully they'll be materializing on the channel in the upcoming months. But yeah, so yeah, it's a standard reaction video, except it's me presenting it. So hopefully that is the appeal for you people. You can, of course, give me suggestions down in the comments below. If it's something I've not seen before, I will give it a look. It will go on the list. I have got a few to be working through right now, but you know, there's always room for one more. Don't forget, of course, you can like, share, subscribe to the channel, especially share it, because if you like it, someone else might like it, and so they might share it, so someone else might like it. And yeah, at the end of the day, the community grows, and it means it gives me more motivation to do this, and you're going to enjoy it because obviously you liked the video in the first place. So yeah, it works out brilliant for everyone. That is all, I believe, the standard housekeeping stuff. Of course, you've got the social medias. Is Thread still a thing anymore? Because if it is, I'll probably put it on there at some point. And of course, if you want to come see me live, I do still sometimes do appearances live in public. Be they stand-up comedy or various other projects that I'm sometimes involved with. You can check them out on the link right there. And you can also chuck some cash in the tip jar if you really like what I'm doing. I'm not asking a lot. You know, just whatever you found down the back of your sofa. Just turn it into digital form. Just digitally throw it in the tip jar there. That is all I'm asking. So with all that gumph out the way, I guess it's time for me to go on to what I'm going to be doing today. You know how sometimes there are those bands that are really sort of big in a certain genre, that are kind of adjacent to what you listen to, but they just don't cross over for whatever reason. Yeah, that's what I'm doing today. This band, I sort of just something about them came up on my Facebook reels the other day, with their not their original guitarist, but with this, I believe it was the second guitarist. They cranked out three of the best sort of rock albums in the early 2000s. But a bit of a unique style of rock. Basically, it was kind of very amped up 1950s rock and roll. I actually listened to their debut single the other day. It was a cover of Dusty Springfield. That's right, Dusty Springfield, done in the style of early 2000s hard rock. It's pretty damn good. I did consider doing it as a reaction video, but I also kind of wanted to know what I was letting myself in for. So that's what this band is. Their roots are very much 1950s rock and roll, just with an early 2000s sort of edge to it. Apparently when the guitarist left, they changed it up, and they've changed up the sound slightly since then. But as I was given a great recommendation for the first three albums, I'm covering one of the songs off those. The second album, to be honest, exact, and the name of the album it's off of is Rock the Rebel, Metal the Devil. For those of you who aren't familiar with that album title, it is, of course, the band I'm talking about is Volbeat, the Danish, like I said, rock and roll band. Is that what they'd be classed as? I don't know. But yeah, I've had it. I've had good information that that what they're sort of cranking out in these early sort of albums is really really something special. So I sort of flick through the track list, and I, none of the songs that weren't covers really were anything that I've come across that I'm aware of. So I did what any lazy researcher would do and just typed in best Volbeat songs into Google. Went through a couple of lists, and yeah, there was one song that came up on a couple of them quite near the top. So that's what I've gone with. It is doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. I've got Wikipedia open in front of me here, and yeah, nothing. So yeah, so like I said, it's from the Rock the Rebel Metal the Devil album. It is The Garden's Tale. I don't know what else I can add to this. So let's just let's fire it up, shall we? See what I got myself in for. So here we are, Volbeat with Gardener's Tale. Okay. I don't know if it's my speakers, but that is coming through kind of fuzzy. In fact, they're doing unless it's to match the intentionally blurry out of focus cameras they're using. So who am I to talk on that subject? Do love that though. I don't think I'm musically inclined enough to explain this very well. But for those who want, what they're doing is they've got a bass loop, and each time they're playing it around, they're layering something else on top, and really sort of building up something. Definitely going somewhere. So, see where. Gotta love a time change. But I mean, on the one hand, it feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. On the other, there was definitely a sort of a boom. Yeah, it's time. This sounds familiar. I've definitely heard, if not this song, I've heard something by this band. But yeah, just before that kicks in there, I was sort of sound like an old folk song that they'd sort of rocked, which I mean kind of goes with the vibe of an update of 50s rock and roll to a 2000s metal sound. So, but I've definitely heard this bit of this song somewhere, if not a similar sounding one. So it's just picking up the tempo and picking up the tempo and picking up the tempo. It's kind of. I was gonna say it's kind of like Come On Eileen, but I don't think it's quite the same, is it? In that instance, the joke is that Dexy's Midnight Runner, Come On Eileen, the time signature keeps changing because they were running out of tape and they didn't want to change it in the machine. Like, I mean, I guess in the I guess in what, 2006, 2007, that could still have very much been a thing, couldn't it? Digital hadn't taken over the world as much as it has these days, but I severely doubt that they'd do that to a band now, even then. Okay, so I mean, the muddy vocals I've heard earlier seem to have cleared up. Just wondering if it's a case of, is it just me, or is one of the vocalists doing it in English and one doing it I'm guessing Danish, as they're a Danish band, or I think over there they speak about 4 different languages, so which is about 3.5 more than I can speak. But yeah, that would explain why I couldn't understand the vocals earlier, if half of them aren't in a language I speak fluently. Something about that time signature. It's not the time signature. The sort of drum beat that they've got going on. It's kind of almost a marching band beat, maybe. You could see it like the Edinburgh Tattoo Festival, or maybe like on a Changing of the Guard type situation. But anyway, let's keep this going. Either the time signature at the end and looking at the... Oh no, that's pretty much it, isn't it? I say, I thought that'd be about the point it ended. Oh no, not, I thought that'd be just like a big of just high speed run to the end, but no, it's just the end. So yeah, that's Volbeat, The Garden's Tale. I guess it's all that's left is just to throw out some quick thoughts on it, isn't it? And there we have The Garden Sale by Volbeat. So like I said, the only other Volbeat song I actively know I've heard is I Only Want to Be With You, the Dusty Springfield cover they did, their debut single, which I can certainly hear some of that in The Garden Sale, that sort of rock and roll inspiration that I sort of was told about. Yeah, it's very much there. Yeah, I certainly did love this. This is really musically. This is really well put together. Some of the stuff they do. I said about the musical layering, about the marching band, almost drum beat that they did towards the end. That really stirred something up in me, which is weird because I don't like to see myself as like very sort of imperialistic, very proud and proper in that sort of respect. But yeah, well, half the lyrics in Danish. I mean, I guess it's fair enough. You're a Danish rock band. They just, you just need enough. You don't need English lyrics for an English hit, as 99 Red Balloons shows. If you look, it's actually the 99 Luftwaffe, or whatever the German translation is, that actually scored a bigger hit in a lot of English-speaking countries. Apparently, according to people who actually speak German, there's a reason for that, and that is it flows a lot better. But with regards to this, yeah, it's I did like that. I could see myself sort of really kind of get into that. It sort of had a good flow to it. Well, when it first started, I was like, oh, this isn't anything special, and then it sort of started to build up, and then the time change came in, and then the tempo picked up, and it all sort of, it wasn't coming out of nowhere. It was all very flowing and logical. It was a case of, there's nothing wrong with like a change in tempo sort of catching you off guard, but if it kind of skews the rest of the song, then it's like, well, did you? I mean, it just kind of, the whole thing kind of falls apart. But no, this kept together really well. The dual language thing, I do like that. I don't know if it's something that appeals to me if that's what they do in all their songs, but they've got a nice sound to them, which I am enjoying. So maybe I kind of look at if there's all going to be a top quality. Like I said, the guys the suggestion I saw on my Facebook reels said, the trifecta of albums they did with this guitarist may be one of the best trifecta, maybe the best 3-album run of that era, which is it's an interesting claim actually. But you sort of look at some of the rock music of that era, and it was very. I don't want to be too negative because I like a lot of those bands. They're the bands I grew up with, but they're not necessarily what people would call classic. Which is sad because I listened to a classic rock station the other day where the playlist was half of those bands. So if I was to put this at a rating, that's as I'm prone to do against my own better judgment, see, this ranks quite highly on some of their best of, but I'm like, yes, it's a good song. Is it great? Maybe I'll change my mind when I've sort of had to listen to it back a few times during like the editing process and what have you. But for right now, what I'm prepared to rate this as, see, I'm gonna stick it at 7.5, but chances are, if I listen to this a few times in editing, that may push it up a little bit higher. Or whenever I do my next countdown video, that may also push it up a bit higher. It depends. But for now, that's where I'm going to leave it, 7.5. Of course, You don't have to leave this video. You can interact with it some more. Don't forget, you can share it with people. The more people who see this, the more people might like it. The more people share it, the more people see it, the more this community grows. The more inspiration I have to do this, and it works out better for all of us, because then I'll be producing more content. Then you'll be enjoying more of my content. It works great for everyone. Of course, like the video, because that always makes me feel nice. And subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the bell, because otherwise it doesn't show you all my videos, which surely defeats the point of subscribing to a channel. I don't know. I do know, if you like me, you can like me on the social medias. You can see me live in person and check out all my other projects, and you can chuck some spare change in the tip jar. And with all that done and dusted, I've got nothing else to say other than I've been LJ. It's been emotional. Till next time.